Hello, welcome to the Narrow Way Homestead. This is our update for the week. A lot of what I've done is just what I always do every single week, is take care of my critters, do my regular chores, and yeah, I haven't really gotten into any big projects this week. The one thing I am working on is collecting stuff for the winter time, collecting food for my animals. So this behind me is some dried hay. You might be thinking, that's not hay. Hay is grass, and it comes in a bale, whether it's square or round, and that's not square or round, and it's definitely not grass. That's correct. It's called tree hay. So I've been going around and just kind of trimming up some of the four-wheel trails because they're overgrown. A lot of them are. And as the season goes on, of course, more stuff grows over the path, and it's not fun to four-wheel on a trail that's overgrown. So I've been clearing some of that, but I've also been trimming some trees around and just trimming trees wherever and trying to get enough stuff to last me through the winter. I'm not going to get there. But it will significantly cut down on our hay bill. And I'm going to try really hard not to have to do hay. That's kind of how I'm managing pastures, is I want to try to manage them so that I have grass and stuff growing through November. So it's kind of a December, January, February. Hopefully that's all the months that I need hay for. But I'm planning for maybe 6 months of hay. So I'm collecting some of that, and I'll throw some pictures on here right after this to show you some of the places I've collected hay and how I've hung it. And the nice thing about tree hay is it's much more waterproof than grass hay. So with grass hay, you have to cut it, and you've got to have 2 or 3 days of completely dry weather to get it dried while it's sitting in the field. If it rains, it might ruin your hay. Tree hay, not the same problem. I've left this sit out for, I don't know, it's probably been 4 weeks, where it's just been outside in the rain, heat, whatever. It doesn't matter as much as with grass hay. Now, it does take longer to dry. It's not completely dry yet. There are I think there's some black walnut in there that hasn't completely dried yet. But it's hanging under a shelter now, and it will finish drying. But it's much more stable than grass hay, which is very nice when you don't have a lot of places to store it. I do have some grass hay here. Flip the camera around and show you that. So this is some of our grass hay. You can see it's not baled, but it's also not dry. But it rained last night, and I knew it was going to rain, so I had to move it inside. It had 2 days out, so it needs another day or two to dry before I can attempt to bale it. I've never baled anything, but I know I can stuff it hard into a box and tie it, so I'm going to give it a shot. So I have some there. This is my goat shed. I have some there, morning chores that I didn't finish yet, and I have some over here in my milking stand. So once it all dries, and I'm coming through and kind of turning it once a day because it's not actually outside, so it's not getting sunlight and airflow like it would be, but you can see that I have it all up on pallets. So it is getting airflow underneath as well as on top. So it's drying a little better than if I would just set it on the ground in here. So that is some of what I've done this week. Let's step out here. And I know I've talked about my rabbit pen before. You can hopefully see it down there. Maybe not if you're watching on a phone. But I've pretty much finished up down there. It's all fenced in with rabbit fencing. And I've got a little hay feeder in there. And that pallet that you see sitting down there, I'm going to stick a bucket waterer on there. It's not done yet, but it's almost done. I just need to silicone a little bit of it, and that will be set. And next week, hopefully, we will have some rabbits in there.
Well, this week has just been more of a maintenance week. It's really hard to say what all I ended up doing, but right at the moment it's Friday, and this thing has a starter issue, which in taking it apart, it's been fairly easy to verify. The thing just refused to start, and I was able to tap on the starter a couple times, and suddenly it's like, hey, I'm interested in starting. In the meantime, for a couple weeks, we've just been using this pole thing, but you can see all the mud and everything from the springtime. We ended up just running the trails back and forth, gets mud on stuff, and a lot of dirt worked its way in here. This got all gummed up with dirt, and it didn't work well. So took it all apart, lubricated it up, cleaned it up first, put some lubricant in there, and now it's back together. Loctited that nut, kept it just a little bit loose because that keeps it from binding. So just miscellaneous stuff this week, but these four-wheelers are pretty much the most instrumental mechanical tool we have here. Makes it running between the pastures and hauling things good, fast, easy, all that stuff. So kind of nice to have this building here to pull it in and work on stuff. Not really what it's designed for, but that's just kind of the way we use it. It's the reason I purchased the French doors, so that we'd be able to pull something in here if we would need to. So one of the other things I did this week was install a little controller, and this controller basically controls a bath fan on the inside. Once we hit 94 degrees, I believe it is, it goes and pushes, yeah, you can't see anything, it pushes air out of this little exhaust port. Until it reaches that temperature, it uses just the natural heat rises to dump the heat out here. But if we run the AC or pull a decent load on the equipment, it gets hot in there quick, and that just enables us to be able to evacuate the air. And I will end up setting this to lower temperatures, but I try to set it to what the approximate ambient air temperature is, because I'd rather use the ground. Since a lot of it's in the ground, I'd rather use the cooling from the natural ground to keep things cool. But once it reaches ambient air temperature and above in there, then I'd rather pull in fresh air and just keep it there. And in the winter time, this thing has an ability to control heat as well, so I'll be able to put a small heater on the batteries to keep them at a temperature I'd prefer, which would keep them more efficient. And we've been slowly picking away at the outdoor kitchen. That's been kind of a project that's just been going real slowly. Been doing other things as they've come up. Actually, the starter on the black truck over there is now replaced. I did that this week. The glow plug controller was having issues, so got the connections all cleaned up, and that's working good. Purchased some rebar from in town, and we're going to use that as tie downs, as an anchor point for this thing, just in case a heavy wind comes. It'll force it to stay on the ground or in the ground. Ended up getting this really cool burn. I mean, really hot burn. Anyhow, the guy cutting rebar loaded it in the truck, which is great. What they're supposed to do, and you're supposed to sit in the truck and not help, but I was helping get it arranged in the truck and everything, and I ended up putting my hand on the end of the one to push it into the bed further because it was sticking out, and oh, he cut that, and it's still really hot. So got burned, but been treating it with aloe and just kind of ignoring it. Seems to got a good blister on it, but it'll do okay, and it'll heal up nice. So I'm not too worried about it, but had a friend over that was able to help me get all those up there, which was really nice. Nice to do that with two people. So alright, that's pretty much what I've been into. Just a lot of little stuff. Hopefully next week we'll have this thing finished up. Actually, there's one more thing I did this week. Just walk over here because I was forgetting about it, and this isn't going to be the greatest shot, but I will do a video of it, and that's a solar oven. Basically just got a glass top from a coffee table. It's just a box painted black on the inside, white on the outside, just to help keep it cool. It rained last night, which is why it's tucked in here like it is. soften it a little bit. But it's got a glass top. We got a little temperature monitoring thing here. And each of these sides has insulation in them to help insulate it. Should the sun go in, it will help retain the heat if it goes behind a cloud. So, all right, a lot of little stuff. Hopefully everything will start coming together next week, but yep, that's what I've been up to on the homestead.
My week was pretty nice. We had some friends visiting and the brought us a bunch of food, so I actually got a short break from cooking for about a half a week. I really enjoyed the time off. Cooking on the homestead, especially when you're cooking over a fire or over even a rocket stove, just takes a lot of time and effort, so it's sort of nice to have a little bit of a break. I also helped Nate get some wood out of the woods. It's all stacked here and ready to go for more campfires and more cooking and etc. I did some mushroom hunting. I found some ringless honey fungus, which I did a whole separate video on. You can find it on YouTube. I've been looking for some chicken of the woods. Haven't had much success yet, but I'm sure it's out there. There's a lot of acreage to cover, so that's why they call it mushroom hunting, because you don't always know what you're going to get. I've been helping Nate here and there with his little projects that needs to be done and socializing the kitten. Diane had me working with Amos the calf a little bit today, just so he will listen and respect me as much as he does her. And just the normal everyday homesteading duties. Trying to keep cool. It's been another pretty hot week, but we've just been busy trying to get everything more up and running. So I hope you guys enjoyed our video. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.